Okay, welcome back. Next movie on the list, Hudson Hawk, the Bruce Willis fronted film. Is that the word? Fronted? Led? Fronted? Yeah, sure. This is obviously a 1991 film. Die Hard came out in 88, I believe. His career was still booming. He was still coming off the high of that Die Hard, and this is the year of The Last Boy Scout and Hudson Hawk. He did two different action films in this movie. You can see that he's like, all right, I'll stay in this wheelhouse. I know that this is what people like, but I'm not going to do the same boring shit again. Not that Die Hard was boring, but he felt if he kept repeating himself, like he has done the sequel, Die Hard 2, Die Harder, in 90, and is like, I'm not going to do that again. Like, okay, I'll stay the action guy, whatever, but I'm going to do two different kind of things. So he did Last Boy Scout, which is more of a noir action, but also with some, like, Shane Black comedy in there. And I'm going to do a goofy, cartoonish action comedy in Hudson Hawk. Now, this is a hybrid and a half. I don't even know what you call this movie. It opens up with, like, a period piece type scene with fucking, hang glider being invented, and this machine that winds up coming back later that the villains are after. And then it introduces Bruce Willis, who plays like a cat burglar this time, and his partner Danny Aiello. They're pulling off a job, and one of their quirky things that they do is they'll sing while they do the job. It helps them with the timing because they time out all the jobs. When this alarm goes off, when this happens, that happens. So they time it to the song. I think it's actually quite clever. So basically, and they have like a crazy memory for songs where they'll list the song and they'll know exactly the minutes and seconds that the song was, when it was released, and it's a really cool touch. The opening sequence is great, and then it's I think the song is Would you like to swing on a star, carry moonbeams home in a jar? What's that one called? The swinging. If you like to be swinging on a star, is that it? Yeah. So they're singing that song, and that song I think comes back later. So it's like, wow, this is quirky and fun. And then after that, that's when the cartoonish shit happens, and there's like boing sounds and like cartoon sounds and shit happening that doesn't make any sense. People defying gravity, and then cartoonish villains that are all named after, that have code names, and they're all named after candy bars like Butterfinger and like Kit Kat and all that shit. Annie McDowell plays like a nun who's not a nun, but she's like a nun spy nun. I don't know. This movie is out there. It's I believe written and directed by Michael Lehman, another great screenwriter that I would put on my list. Famous for Heathers. Am I right about Michael Lehman? Okay, so if I'm not right about the name or I'm mixing two guys up, I'll put something on the screen to correct my dumbass. Okay, but if I am right, I'm just going to go with this thought train here. And the thought train says Michael Lehman, Heathers, fucking wrote Batman Returns, which is arguably like the best Batman. The list goes on and on. He's also got his style is like this movie. It's very quirky. It's very genre blending, which is my wheelhouse. I love when movies blend genres. So this movie is fun, but it's also full of crazy set pieces, like a car chase where Bruce Willis is friggin' speeding down the highway on a gurney, and there's a lot of kooky stuff, and great villain performance. David Caruso is in this movie. I think it's a silent performance, but he's great in everything. And Sandra Bernhardt is the villain with This is hard because I love this guy. The guy they're like a duo of villains. You could put his name on the screen too, because I'm quite fond of this guy. This guy was nominated for an Oscar not too many years ago, and he every time he pops up, I just love him. He's so great. Can't remember his name now. But the cast is like great. Annie McDowell's great. She always handles the comedy good. She's like half straight guy, half not in this movie. Bruce Willis, I've always thought handled comedy great. as well, especially when it's like genre blending, where he can do everything in the same film. He was funny in Last Boy Scout in the same year. He was funny and he had funny moments in Die Hard. Like, he's just a funny guy. So this movie, though, I mean, if we're being real, Hudson Hawk was made and built for everything that a guilty pleasure stands for. It's a cult film. If you notice the theme, if there's a theme here in this category, a lot of these are cult films. A lot of these guys are the odd men out. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, Highlander 2, The Quickening, even Cast the Deadly Spell. These are all cult films. So, not to say that there's not cult films in the other categories, but yeah, so that's my decision, and I'm like sticking to it, man.